Okay, you know me, I like to vary what I do quite a lot as far as reviews are concerned. I've been looking recently at Airfix models, the original kind of models that you have to disassemble, well, separate from the dividing parts and whatever the proper term is, which I can't recall right now, and to glue them together, paint them and so on and so forth. Not perhaps my bag really, but you know, it still gives you a sense of satisfaction once you've actually done something correctly. Airfix have obviously taken this into account because at some point, I think it was about 3 years ago they started doing this, or at least it was 3 years ago when I became aware of it. They started doing this own sort of semi-Lego designs, because if you look at this, that's blatantly Lego type parts. If the autofocus will do its job, there we go. Yeah, there you can see all the pegs and so on and so forth. So this is their Quickbuild range of Spitfire. Doesn't say which type of Spitfire. It also doesn't tell you anywhere what the scale is. I've looked all over this already. I love the fact that it tells you, gives you one flying hour, and that you can go to the airfix.com club, whatever that lion logo is, that it's ages 5 plus, 0 to 3 sad onions. Yeah, I ain't Ashens, but I may as well say that. The card's recyclable and all of that, and it's part of Hornby Hobbies. You know, I would assume, judging from the size of it, that was probably 172 or gauge, so this might work with my my dream of setting up my own railway set with an airfield and possibly putting this in, but I kind of doubt the colour scheme will actually fit with anything, unless of course I apply paints to it. But in general terms, as far as what we get box wise, some nice artwork, no glue, no paint, just build. Yeah, it's it doesn't give you the scale at all in any way, shape or form. It exactly is all of this. It's just, are these the parts? Are these supposed to be the weightage? I mean, it doesn't really give you much. It tells you that there's one Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. I'm assuming these must be some bits and pieces of information to do with something. One pilot? Is that what it's supposed to be telling you? I mean, I can't really see a pilot included there. I mean, you can see that there's a stand. Oh, it's designed and made in the UK, so I'm buying local. It's, you know, I'll bet if I do some research, it'll probably turn out to actually be made in China or something. But never mind. I'll believe them. I'll believe that it's actually designed and made in the UK. I've got my doubts. I'll be sincere about that. I do have my doubts, but I'm still just not clear what this is. If it's supposed to be, it can't be a loadout of what you actually get from here. It can't be what the contents actually are, because there isn't a pilot. I mean, when you look at the glass cockpit there, it's just a plastic pot that sits on top. But oh well, let's see if we can open this up without damaging the box too much. Resale value? Doubt it. Oh, come on, open up. Yeah, it's like they're deliberately designed to have to be torn open unless you go easily. Okay, we've got more instructions in there. Looks like stickers. Although technically this is a Lego-esque type thing, it is the kind of thing that, because it's a display model, I would be quite happy with putting those on. Once I figure out how. Once I've actually got it assembled. And of course there's the rest of the range. Modern jets, World War II type stuff of what looks like an Apache helicopter, and so on. These are, of course, the instructions. So goody. That's quite a lot. And of course, it actually looks quite nicely coloured as well. Let's just take a good look over all of that, and needs to be turned that away. And it, yeah, I'd say that's pretty concise and very well done. It gives you precisely the information you need to put this bad boy together, although I'm pretty sure if you're an experienced Lego builder, you should be able to build that together pretty toot sweet. Which is what I'm going to do, not in front of you, because that would be insane, but what I am going to do is I'm going to do a jump cut, and then and we're back, and guess what? There was one spare piece, just one little peg like that, one little oneer like that. But never mind, I really couldn't see anything on the instructions that would indicate why this would be needed. There are two of these. This one's a sort of orangey brownish colour, and the other's a red one, and the reason you need them is to make the propeller work. You basically have where the engine is, with this little section here, there's two holes that come together, and you've got a little peg on the rotors inside that the other peg goes onto to hold it in place, so it flies around quite nicely. Now you'll see I haven't actually put the stickers on as of this point, but that's just because I want to just show it as it is right now, as if though it just came off the assembly line and hasn't had any of its details and whatnot put on. As you can probably guess, each section of the camouflage paint is actually a different section of what I'll refer to as Lego bricks, Lego coverings and whatnot. So they're not interchangeable. You can't put this over here and vice versa. You might be able to in some cases, but no, probably not. It's not got that kind of versatility in mind. It's quite literally what you see on the paint job is how the pieces slung together quite nicely. Now some of them, but not all, have sort of individual lip sections that lock together. Not all though. That one doesn't, for example. And it would be really neat if all of them did the same thing, if they all had that same piece of technology, and just to give it a bit more rigidity. But it's nice and light. It's not going to break if you drop it. Not easily anyhow. There's no figurines to put in. I still can't tell you what the scale is. I'd have to look that up separately, but it comes with this little stand here which plugs into the bottom here. These wheels do not extend outwards at all, which is something of a shame, but the fact that these are separate pieces that you have to put in onto the actual Lego piece wings and whatnot so that they show through, that is a nice touch. That is a very nice touch. It's a little bit of a shame that it's such a dark canopy. It is slightly transparent and you can sort of see through, in some cases, through to the where all the pegs are. But it works for what it is. For what it is quite nice. Now this section here is also a separate brick altogether that can come off quite easily. Not sure what it's supposed to represent, but it's a detail, and details on this are quite nice in their own right. There's plenty of sections here that give you some sort of indication as to how it works, and of course the stand works quite nicely as well, because you can just sort of position it any way you like and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall over. It's so well designed that you can have it any way you want and it would just literally stay there forever. Nice bit of spin on the rotor there. Oh, the Spitfire. Yeah, it's got a fond part in pretty much anybody's heart, hasn't it? Except maybe the Nazis. And here we are with the stickers on now. Now I've got to admit, when I was putting them on, it's fairly easy to put them on, and if you do make a slight mistake early on, you can sort of peel them off quite easily, quite quickly. I haven't tried to remove them now that they're on in the proper places, but when you actually apply them, it does sometimes, you have to eyeball it a lot. There's not really any sort of markings to really indicate where it should be going, so they may look a little off in some regards, but I think for the most part I've managed to get it on quite nicely. Of course they do cover over, in some cases, different sections, so you can't really take this thing apart again, but why would you want to? It's obviously meant to be used as a display piece, or even as a toy in general, and in theory it should work for either purpose, especially with the display stand like that. You can get into pretty much any angle you want to do pretty much any pose you want. It's quite nice. There's no stickers for the underside though, but I think they're subscribing to the idea that all the action is going to be on the top. It's arguably the bit of the plane that's the most famous. From pretty much any angle though. But yeah, I quite like it. It's a lot quicker to build than the standard traditional model kit where you're basically gluing everything and then painting everything. The assembly on this is, what, less than 20 minutes maybe? Applying the stickers is maybe another 5 minutes. Playtime, forever. But yeah, it's nice, it looks the part. It would not fit in with what I've got in mind, because the scale, I still have no idea what the scale is, but it's definitely not 172, it's not 00 gauge. Just comparing it to some of the models that I'm building at the moment, this is easily 3 times the size, I think, in general. Might work if you're wanting to do some photography and you're wanting to have a little forced perspective shot, you know, have the smaller models in the distance and the larger model in the front, but even then the difference in paint job applications and so on is going to show up. But you might be able to make something out of it artistically. You might even know somebody who can do a good paint job on these things, put, you know, paint on this to make it look maybe more realistic, who knows. If you do happen to know which kind of paints to do that with, please feel free to comment below, and I might do a little experiment. But in general, as it is, I'm quite liking this. This is rather nice. Marks out of 10, I would say a pretty solid 8.